don't you just start us off by introducing yourself, man? Introduce yourself to the camera.
Memnon Warrior, the god of war, the only black Greek god. Check it out. Shout out to Tenchi Restaurant out of Greensboro, Maryland. Shout out to Frank Pabon. My sponsor, Ed Orcho. If you're in the Hammond, Indiana area, go check him out.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, so let's get this started, man. So first off, where you from, man?
I'm from like Calumet City area, but we moved over to Lansing when I was like, I want to say 7th grade. 7th grade, moved to Lansing.
7th grade, all right. And so you basically essentially lived out there from that point on and shit.
Pretty much.
So did you play any sports in high school? You feel me? You fight. So did you do wrestling or anything like that?
I always fought. That was my thing. I was a bad kid. I always stayed in fights. I always was out of school. But when I was in school, I tried to keep my grades up only for wrestling. So I was only in there for wrestling. I knew at an early age I'd be a future UFC champion. So it just, things kept lining up. So school, I tried my best, but it was just something else. It was on some other shit. It's bots.
Oh God, nah, that's real, bro. Everybody got their lane, and you found yours. So how do you think that wrestling and, you feel me, fighting as a kid kind of helped you shape your career and really sent you on the path to becoming who you are today?
It helped me a lot with the discipline. It like showed me some direction. Like, hey, if I work hard in this, I can win my matches. And a lot of losses too in that showed me like, hey, I could bust my ass off, still lose. That's just what life is. So they kind of like showed me a lot about real life. That's what martial arts does. That's what wrestling did.
Yeah, that's real. So now that you feel me, you out of school, you feel me, you fighting full time essentially. I presume.
Yup. Full time. Clock into the gym. That's it. Yeah. And trust me, I work hella full time jobs, clocking in 9 to 5, 9 to 9. That shit made me want to drive off a bridge, fucking shoot myself. That shit's torture. So now I get to finally be myself, like full-time fighter. It's a lot like being, well, as a martial artist, I teach people, so I get paid to teach them how to fight. I get paid to teach women self-defense, how to defend themselves. But being a full-time fighter, you pretty much make your own schedule and you grind. You just train hard every day. 4 hours, 6-hour days.
And okay, so where do you be training at? Do you train in Chicago? You train in Indiana, around the area type shit?
So I train in Maryville, Indiana with Premier MMA, Team Cologne. Steve, a good dude. Steve taught one of the active featherweights, a couple welterweights in the UFC. Probably his biggest student he trained is Darren Elkins, who's going crazy in the UFC right now. I think a 2-fight winning streak.
That's real. So a little bit about you, bro. So what are your eventual goals when it comes to fighting? Like, where are you trying to go eventually?
The goal has always been the same since like 12 years old. UFC champion, defend the belt a few times. It really depends on where my bank is at that time, because I'm gonna try to retire before 30.
Okay.
Shit, because it's a young man's sport. So. Right,
and so how old are you?
22.
22. So you plan on doing all this in it real soon. You gotta get in there pretty soon.
They're already watching me, so I just gotta keep taking off heads, and I'll be there in no time.
And what would you say is the hardest aspect of fighting? Whether it be something physically with exercise, whether it be mentally getting ready and getting prepared every day.
The exercise really ain't. It's hard when you first start out as being a fighter or martial artist, but the exercise becomes getting closer and closer, like just to your goal. The more you train, the more you get success in your fights. So the exercise, that's not a hard part.
Okay, that's real. You got a favorite strike, like a submission or anything? What you like to do, man?
Left head kick.
Left head kick.
It comes like a jab. So that left side, I'm left-handed. I learned how to fight in orthodox, which is like a right-handed way of fighting, but that's how we are as Americans. It's mostly a right-handed country. If you go to like Asia and the other side of the world, most people are left-handed. So me being left-handed, I work both southpaw and orthodox.
Okay, and what fighter would you most closely compare your style to, if any?
A lot of people be saying I fight like GSP, but he's well-rounded. So that's like you're good at takedowns, you're good at the striking, but I don't really know. I strike. It's just different way of striking.
Okay, so you more of a stand-up fighter then, instead of a get on the ground, ground and pound submission.
Yeah, for sure. I'm mostly a stand-up fighter.
Okay, and who would you say was your well? First let's go into that. So I done seen a couple videos on YouTube. You feel me? You kicking niggas in the head, bro. You knocking niggas the fuck out. You feel me? And that was on Streetbeefs, I believe, right?
Yep.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So 2020 starts with me cutting down in January. I was coming off like a 6-month suspension because last year, 2019, I was supposed to fight. It was a comeback fight. I'm 21 years old. This is like a big fight for me. I'm about to finally pretty much get off in my career. And I'm at my homeboy's fight at the Horseshoe Casino, and he gets dropped. Boom. And after his opponent dropped him, he stands over him, and then he starts like talking shit. You know, that's cool, but then he started talking shit to us in his corner. So I jumped over the cage and threw a head kick at him. And so they suspended me for 6 months.
Awesome. So y'all on some Khabib Nurmagomedov shit. Y'all on some.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ain't proud of that though, cause I don't know. It showed me like, you know, I could react easy to the words. That's all it took. So that 6 months off from the sport, it like made me mature a lot. So I came back January 2020. At 135, so I cut to a lower weight class, beat the dude, and then Corona happened, so it was like all the fights shut down. So Streetbeefs was the only place hosting fights in Virginia, so that's when I went out there and went from there.